In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a fantastic deal available on Battlefield 5 right now. It is already 50% off, and bear in mind that this game officially released just a week ago. And I also want to talk about how that probably relates to how the game is doing from a commercial standpoint. Physical sales of Battlefield 5 look to be down more than half compared to Battlefield 1. However, there are a couple of things you have to take into consideration when looking at that statement. Also, Sony has filed a brand new patent for a new kind of game cartridge. Does that point to a brand new handheld system? I think not, based on the failure of the PlayStation Vita. Don't get it twisted, I love the PS Vita as a platform, but from a commercial standpoint, it didn't do all too well. Also, it looks like we're gonna get some information on the Yakuza franchise, maybe some information on Project Judge's Western release. SEGA is teasing something for the Kinda Funny Games Showcase on December 8th. Red Dead Online launched today, and there are a variety of different play modes. Included is a Battle Royale mode. Also, The Last Remnant, a pretty niche JRPG, is getting a remastered version, and it has just gotten a brand new trailer, so I'll look at that at the end of this video. First up, over on Target, Battlefield 5 is 50% off, down to $29.99. That is crazy because it also comes with free 2-day shipping. Do keep in mind that this game literally officially released a week ago, so 7 days after its initial release, it is down to $29.99. How does that make someone that picked up the game on November 20th for a full $59.99 feel? Man, I've been saying it so much. There are so few games these days that are actually worth your $59.99 price because they're just gonna go on sale so quickly. Only a couple of games this year have retained their value for any lengthy period of time. A couple games included are God of War. Only recently did that game drop in price, but for a solid 6 months, it held around that $40 to $60 range. Marvel's Spider-Man is still holding up, and then of course RDR 2 has been holding up. But then you look at every other PS4 game release from Battlefield 5, Fallout 76, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, some of the biggest games this holiday season, all of them were cut in price very quickly, and now we see it with Battlefield 5, but this has to be the quickest, literally a week after release, and it is down to $30, and this parlays into the second topic, and that's that Battlefield 5 physical sales are down more than half on Battlefield 1. Now, there are a couple of things to take into consideration. First of all, the Battlefield 5 Digital Deluxe Edition was available earlier than the physical release. That was available on November 15th, but of course you did have to pay a heftier price tag, so it's unclear how many people check that out. And then also on the PC side of things, Battlefield 5 was a part of Origin Access Premier. However, that's on the PC side of things. How many people are really buying physical copies of PC games anymore? Not many. So yes, while those factors play a part in why Battlefield 5's physical sales are so down, I don't think that tells the entire story, because being down over half compared to Battlefield 1, that's pretty crazy. And I think if sales were doing rather well, I don't think the game would have been discounted this quickly. 50% off in a 1-week span, that is nearly unheard of in the gaming world. Battlefield 5 has also generally just had a pretty mixed reception, and even compared to Call of Duty Black Ops 4, that game sold exponentially better than Battlefield 5, so that's just something to keep in mind. I foresee Battlefield 5 getting rather cheap rather quickly, and it's unfortunate because EA did try to do some good things with the game. They're giving away DLC content for free, but even with that, I just think the overall PR for this game has been a train wreck. Going back to E3, the biggest platform of the year to show off your game, Battlefield 5, what did it have? All it had was a cinematic single-player trailer, and then we transitioned into some mobile gameplay. We didn't get that big drop of multiplayer gameplay that really captivated gamers. That never happened with Battlefield 5. It completely missed that, and I think from a commercial standpoint, it kind of shows. But moving on from that, it looks like Sony is developing some sort of new kind of game cartridge. It specifically states an electronic game cartridge, but no other information was given. Now, John Codera did speak on portable gaming, and here's what he said, quote, "Rather than separating portable gaming from consoles, it's necessary to continue thinking of portable gaming as one method to deliver more gaming experiences." I think that more so goes hand in hand to how Nintendo has viewed the Nintendo Switch, and if you're thinking this any way points to a PlayStation Vita 2, I think you're gonna be very disappointed. The PlayStation Vita was a colossal failure. The amount of money that Sony poured into developing games like Uncharted Golden Abyss, Gravity Rush, Wipeout, and even with all of those games, the PlayStation Vita just didn't gain much traction. Now, you could point to a variety of different reasons. Maybe the $250 price tag was a little bit high, but when it was announced at $250, the 3DS was $250 as well. But prior to the Vita being released, that's when Nintendo decided, hey, let's drop the price of the 3DS to $180. And then the $250 price point didn't tell the whole story of the Vita's price, because you also had to buy the grotesquely overpriced memory cards. They are proprietary memory, and 4 gigabytes was like $30, 16 gigabytes was like $80. That just was not gonna fly in the grand scheme of things, especially considering how cheap SD cards were. And even with a lot of great games, again, Uncharted Golden Abyss, Gravity Rush, Killzone Mercenaries, so many high-quality experiences, the PlayStation Vita really never gained much traction, and obviously it never saw the success of a 3DS, so I don't think Sony is gonna go down that rabbit hole. Whatever this points to, I could see it being related to some sort of extension to a future PlayStation console, but right now we can only tell so much based on a patent. It could be something that in the coming months and years it just goes to the wayside, but it is something interesting to follow. Also, the Kinda Funny Games Showcase will be held on December 8th, and Greg Miller put out a tweet saying, hey, at Yakuza Game and at SEGA, you want to announce something at KFG Showcase? And then SEGA actually responding saying, quote, you know what, you've convinced us, sure. So of course SEGA has been remaking the classic Yakuza games. We got Yakuza Kiwami 3 is sure to happen, but more importantly, Project Judge will be coming stateside sometime in 2019. That game is actually releasing in Japan next month, so the Japanese version, the work on that has been done. Now the focus has to shift towards the Western release on that, and Project Judge does carry a lot of the gameplay elements from Yakuza, but it's really raising the bar for the franchise from a technical standpoint. It looks fantastic, and I would love to see an English trailer for Project Judge and maybe even a release window. That would be great. I imagine we will see a release date, however, for Yakuza Kiwami 3, titles that I'm very interested in, and I know a portion of our audience is too. And do remember that Yakuza Kiwami for PlayStation Plus subscribers is absolutely free right now, so go give that a download.
バトルは華麗かつ豪快。多彩なアクションとの融合でバトルが華麗に進化。バトルスタイルの選択で爽快に暴れ回れ。パワフルな攻撃も満載。とどめは豪快に決めろ。
And today, of course, we had the official launch of Red Dead Online, and some of the game modes included include a Battle Royale mode and Make It Count. Now, it's not 100 players, but it is 32 players, and they'll be fighting against one another, with weapons being limited and a constantly shrinking circle. Other game modes include Most Wanted, Name Your Weapon, Team Shootout, and Race. Do remember that Red Dead Online will be seeing a slow rollout throughout the entirety of this week, and on November 30th, it is going to be officially open to everyone. And lastly, The Last Remnant was a niche JRPG release last generation for Xbox 360 and PC. We never got to see a PS3 version, but it will be coming to the PlayStation 4 in the form of The Last Remnant Remastered. And we got a brand new trailer in the Discover the Remnants trailer. Now, it looks very good. The Last Remnant was a pretty complex JRPG. The gameplay had a lot of nuances to it. However, the storytelling was a little hit or miss, but that's kind of to be expected with JRPGs. Overall, it's a game that I'm very interested to revisit, and I do believe it'll be released at $19.99, so that's a perfect price point for The Last Remnant Remastered, and it will be dropping worldwide on December 6th, and it will be a digital-only release, which is kind of disappointing, but hey, if it's priced accordingly, no big deal. So that's gonna conclude this video. Again, there's a fantastic deal on Battlefield 5 available right now, $29.99 at Target. That's an exceptional deal, but Battlefield 5 looks to be having some troubles in terms of its commercial performance. Sony has panned some kind of new game cartridge, Sega is teasing something for the Kinda Funny Games Showcase, Red Dead Online has officially launched, and The Last Remnant Remastered has gotten a brand new trailer. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.